Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we are doing something that we definitely do not want to be doing at this time of year. Behind me you can see we have the Massey 6499 top-notch tractor, and then we also have our Vicon front mower and our Hollinger wagon behind. And you might be asking, why on earth do you have this on? Are you cutting silage? Are you doing a bit of contracting like you did last year? No, we're doing something different that we haven't done in quite a few years, and something that we really shouldn't be doing, but we have to, because you can probably guess the rain has not stopped and the ground is still very, very wet. So we can't get the cows out, so this means we're calling for drastic action. I'm not sure whether you would have seen the video where we bought the silage yet or not, because once we bought that silage, we bought about 2 or 3 after that, so we bought about 5 in total, 5 loads of silage in total it was, and it was just the silage was just getting very expensive to buy and keep on buying, because it was £40 a tonne, and we can't really be spending that every couple of days on several tons in each load. So what we're doing here is, my dad is just about to jump on the tractor and get this all fired up, but pretty much what we're going to be doing is we cut the grass at the front with the front mower, and then the grass will come out from under here, and then the wagon will pick it up at the back. I know there are machines, they're called zero grazers, that do that for you. There's just a mower that's in front of the actual machine, so that you're not driving over the silage with the tractor. But since those machines cost a lot of money and we don't need one, this does the job fine. For the amount of grass we're pulling in today, we're not going to be massively worrying about driving over a bit of grass. So you're going to get to see the first bit of action that she'll be doing this year in the fields. With us having the Massey on the mower and the wagon, we had to bed at the straw by hand because the straw chopper wasn't free to go in any tractor. So we had to do it the old way with the grab and the manitou, which we haven't done for a long time in that shed. So we're going to get the Massey fired up now, head into the field. This here is the field that we're cutting in. So this is the field just right in front of the farm. We've got this big piece of grass here. It's like a big triangle. We're going to be aiming to cut that whole thing today. If you just saw there, the front mower cuts it and then the feeder wagon lifts it up from behind. So there's three main reasons why we are doing it and not just feeding silage like a lot of people are doing. The first reason is, as I told you, silage is getting expensive and we don't want to be feeding lots of it to the cows because we have to buy it. Buy good silage, I mean. Second reason is, there's a lot of protein in this spring grass, so that's why we want to feed it to the cows, and it also reduces the cost of meal because we don't have to feed as much meal to the cows because we can feed this instead. Another reason why we're cutting this grass now is because if it keeps on raining and we don't get the cows out for another 2 or 3 weeks, that means that this grass will turn to stem, and if this grass turns to stem, then that means there won't be very much nutritional value in it to put the cows onto. So that means if we cut it now, we're getting the nutritional value. We're also can feed it to the cows, but if we leave it for another 2 or 3 weeks, that means we'll have to cut it for silage because it'll just be, the grass will be too long, and it wouldn't be good for the cows. So we've got a fair bit left. We've got this big square and then that little rectangle-y bit there. If you let 120 cows in here, for example, they would have this place an absolute mess. But with the tractor just going over pretty much 2 tracks, it means that it's not really damaging it, and that tractor's also got pretty big wheels, which is good. So does the wagon. One of the problems of doing it with the mower and the wagon instead of a zero grazer is you're left with grass like here on each side of the wheels where the wagon just can't collect up. So you can see there, for example, the wagon is the reeler that's on the front of the wagon can't pick it up because it's just too far out of its reach. So yeah, we are leaving a bit up each track, but for all that's there, it's not a big problem. We just want to get this grass into the cows because 1, they really enjoy it, 2, it's good nutritional value, high in protein with this spring grass, and then 3, we don't have to feed as much meal because it's also high in protein. That's the field all done now. We'll just get ready. We'll just tip it in the yard and then get ready to feed it to the cows. You can see how much we have in it. It's about, I don't know, not even half. feeding 2/3 of the ration of the grass into the feeder for the cows. 2/3 of the ration is the grass that we've just cut. My dad doesn't think there's enough there to do them, so we're just going to cut sward around the outside of this field here. This is the next field that we'll be cutting. One thing I forgot to mention when we are lifting the grass is there's knives under here when you are lifting silage, but we don't have them on at the minute because we just want the grass to be cut and then straight into the I keep on calling it feeder wagon, but it's silage wagon. So the knives aren't cutting the grass up, it's just being cut at the front and then lifted at the back. Can you hear the cows roaring? They're absolutely desperate to get out. Ooh la la! Plan of action now is we're going to grab each piece of this grass individually and then we are going to put it in the feeder wagon. That will be the only thing that will be in the feeder wagon. We're not putting anything else in. We'll do a small mix tonight with just what they have been getting, but this is what they'll be getting for most of the day. We're only going to be putting a couple of ton of this grass into the feeder wagon because once we put more than a couple of ton into the feeder wagon, that means that we have to start it up and then start the big blades inside, which will cut this grass up, this fresh grass, and we don't want that. And we want to keep it like a big leafy grass like it is there now. We want to keep that those grass pieces all together. So we'll put in 2 tons and we'll feed that feed trough in there, and then once we've fed that, then we'll feed all the rest. But time to get them fed. It is a nuisance having to do this, and the cows like it, so it's okay. This here is one of the problems with feeding it through the feeder wagon. It gets stuck in big clumps and then it can't come out the door. So that means that you have to open the door more. You have to open the door more for that particular piece, and then a massive amount could come out like here, and then it just shoots over the wall. the same as up there, but you can't really do anything about that. I'll just pick it up and put it in back into the trough like that. There's my dad in the background just filling up the second load of grass. As I said, we can't all put it in together because then we would have to mix it up. So he's just putting the bed in that'll feed that trough there, and then the trough up the top in that shed. So we'll get that done and then let the cows in. And that is all the grass picked up. Now just feed it to the cows and let them out. You can see in the top how full it is. The grass is just sticking out. I suppose that's probably due to not mixing it. If we were mixing it with the silage and all, it would sort of compress down a bit. But since that's like still in big clumps, it's gonna stay in big clumps, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure if that makes a lot of sense, but so if you saw what happened there, that was just what I was pretty much saying before. A big bit of grass got stuck in, and then the conveyor belt wouldn't push it along. So that's one of the problems with having these big large amounts of putting these big large amounts of grass in the feeder wagon without mixing it. There is about 40, 50, 60 cows waiting. So as soon as I open this gate, it's going to be mayhem. Actually, I'm going to set you, where should I set you? I'll set you here. No, I'll set you up here. And then you can see all the cows coming out. Stay there, or until these cows come out. See what I mean? So weird to see like actual grass, not silage, in the feed troughs, because we usually never do this. We haven't done this for a long time, and we would usually have them out as soon as we finish feeding silage. They'll be out in the field. We haven't run out of grass in a long time, and we haven't had to go and cut grass and bring it into the cows. And we haven't had to go cut grass and bring it into the cows for a long time. So yeah, it's definitely weird. It's just the weather. We can't do anything about it, but we just have to try and deal with it as best we can. It is nice-ish outside. It's not raining for a change, which is good. But just the last week hasn't been that great, so we can't really get the cows out. But yeah. I should have mentioned this. We have done this a few times, but we've never ever done it before the cows have actually gone out to grass. Before they've gone out to grass, we've done it later in the year once they've came in early, but we've never done it. We've never fed the cows grass before they've actually gone out to grass, if that makes sense. We've done it after they've come in. It's just been too wet. But this year is the opposite. It's too wet to go out at the start, so we have to bring it into them. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. It helps to promote the videos to new audiences. So thank you very much to everyone who watched. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. What a clever cow. The only one that has all of this grass to herself.